Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and today's video. This is a results video. I have been using the Nira laser devices for 5 months and today we're going to compare the photos. Okay, so let's start off with the details and the claims. So these devices use non-fractional laser technology, and they have these little pulses that heat up the dermis layer of our skin to create these controlled injuries. And those injuries then signal to our skin cells to repair. So what it's doing is creating more collagen, more elastin, more fibroblast in order to help smooth out our skin, to plump up our skin, which in turn will reduce fine lines and wrinkles. So like all the other good things that we have in our body, these things start to deplete over time. The collagen, the elastin, the fibroblast, the hyaluronic acid, all of the goodies. So this is there to help boost production that will in turn give us more youthful looking skin. These devices are FDA cleared for at-home use. They have 5 different levels of intensity for your own personal comfort. They promise no pain, no redness, no downtime, and should only take between 5 and 8 minutes a day. Excellent. Plus, they say after 90 days of continual use, you will see dramatic results. Now, I had actually seen the Precision on an American program long before it ever hit social media, and I was intrigued. But this was sort of my early days of investing in devices, and at that stage, I just really wasn't ready to take the plunge. But then I started to see it pop up here by YouTubers that I follow, people that I watch were showing usage and they were showing results. And my golly, they were positive. So I kind of wanted to give it a try. So I actually contacted Nira and asked them if they would send me the Precision. I wanted to give it a try. I wanted to share it with you because, you know, if this thing works, awesome. But this is not a sponsored video. They don't even know I'm making this video. So this is all my own personal thoughts on this product and how it's performed for me and my own objectives. So let's start there. Objectives. I think it's really, really important to set out with objectives. So I use some devices for toning. I use some devices for lifting. I use some devices for wrinkle reduction. So whatever it is for me, when I undertake these kind of trials, I have a particular goal in mind, and I think you should too. So I'm looking very, very specifically for one thing or 2 things. That is the area around my eyes. For me, I wanted to see a reduction specifically in the crow's feet right here, and also a little bit of a reduction of the wrinkly bits just underneath my eyes. This for me is where I'm showing my age. I feel that the wrinkles are increasing, and it's going to happen. Of course it's going to happen. I'm getting older, but this device says specifically that that's what this is for. So this little guy has a very small little head, which makes it really easy to get into this area around the eye. It is perfect for that. So I've spent a great deal of time, probably over the past year, addressing this area anyway. So I have been using a device by Evenskid called the Venus, which has been fantastic for helping me smooth things out here. I saw huge results from using that product. And I've also used things like growth factors and peptides and certain skincare ingredients that are going to help in that area too. So I've had a lot of focus on it and I was doing pretty good. But I figured if there's anything that's going to help me improve this as I age and as these wrinkles are going to get worse, then this was the device for me. And if you go to their website and you look at the before and afters, I mean, they're pretty incredible. Seeing the results of people in my age bracket that are tackling the same sort of thing that I'm tackling. And they have a number of different examples there. And not only do their images show improvements in the fine lines and wrinkles, but they're even showing, you know, discoloration, which I thought was very interesting. Not a part of my program here, and I'm not really concerned about it, but all looks very promising. And as you may or may not know, I'm an eternal optimist. I'm like, this stuff is going to work. I'm every marketer's dream, as Gary says. Because I'm like, this is the one. It's going to do the work. Now, I don't always have success. I've tried quite a few devices on this channel. There was the MyoLift Mini, there was the Tripolar, which is radio frequency. A couple of these things, just when I did my comparison at the end of my 3 months, didn't show the results that I was hoping for. So I discontinued them, and sometimes that's just the way it goes. So this is really my experience, and I think it's important to say that too. So you may have a totally different one, and I can't wait to hear if you have, but these are just my thoughts and my journey. So when I started this, they only had one device. It is the Precision. As I said, it has a smaller head, which is really good for getting into super small targeted areas. So this is going to be very good for the crow's feet area, for the area under the eyes, and as well as up here in the hooded eyes. Now, I didn't use it for that. That was not one of my objectives, but apparently the whole area inside the eye here and lifting is going to be fantastic for hooded eyes. So let me start by saying I loved it. I found this so easy to incorporate into my routine. for a couple of reasons. One, you use it every day on dry skin. You don't have to like put stuff on to use it, which is a bummer about a lot of the devices. You have to have slip, you have to have oils, you have to have serums, you have to have whatever. I use this straight out of the shower on dry skin, and it took me no time at all. It was probably 3 minutes on each eye. And the way that the technology works is you turn it on and it has this little button here. I can't do it on my face because I have makeup on, but when it makes contact, it makes that sound. When it doesn't make contact, it makes that sound. So you just hit the button, hit the button, hit the button, hit the button. So I kind of did 2 to 3 rows here, and I did a few rows out on the crow's feet on both eyes. Easy peasy. This thing went with me everywhere. It went to Spain, to Canary Islands, it went to the US. I used this every single day for about 3.5 months. There are some downsides to this. The first is the pain. It hurts. Now it has 5 levels, so you can control the hurt. And they don't want it to hurt. If it hurts, you should turn it down. So I really couldn't comfortably get this past a 3. And particularly the area under the eyes, I would prefer to have it down to a 2 or a 1. Now I've seen people using this on 4 and 5. I don't know how they're doing it. I must be the world's biggest wimp. I could not do it. I found that it hurt. I kept it on a lower level and it was fine. The other downside to this is it dried the shit out of my skin. I started to feel it was so dry, it was so tight. And I remember watching some videos of other YouTubers saying you need to make sure that you use a proper serum and that you use hydration and you use lotions. Well, I do that anyway. I use a serum and an eye cream every single day after I was done with this. It wasn't enough. So I started to add in my Calisum. This is the Recovery Night Complex. It's a gel, and I keep it in the fridge so it was nice and cool. So as soon as I did my Nira, I would put this on and just leave that. And then I would use my serum, and then I would use my cream, and you know, all the misting and all the stuff that I do anyway. So I found that as a real downside, is that I felt this was just getting really dry. And I've spent so much time over the course of the past year, year and a half, making sure that this part of my face is super hydrated, because when that's nice and plump, it looks younger, right? And then completely unexpectedly, they sent me the new Mac Daddy. This is the Pro. So look at the size of the head comparison. I mean, it is honking. I loved using this because you could cover so much more surface area. So what would take me, you know, you have to go dink, 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 dink. I could just go thunk, thunk, and I could just move around so much faster. The other beauty is you don't have to use the button. So it would just automatic contact. Now, you would hold this down a little bit longer, but I didn't have a problem with that. And it didn't hurt, even on the highest level. It seems to have a new fan built into it. This has no pain, no pain. So for me, this went to the wayside and I used this exclusively. And for the same time period that I was using this, I was able to do, oh, sorry, better turn that off. I have makeup on, so I shouldn't be doing it. I was able to do the whole area, the marionette lines. I did my jawline, and I also did my chin area. I'm starting to get a little bit of wrinkling there. Gross. So this for me was just a winner because I could do so much more with this so much faster. Love, love, love. Okay, so essentially I used this one for about 100 days. I used this from March 23rd to July 3rd every single day. That is more than 100 days. So that's way past the 90 days that they said I should be able to see results. And then I put that down and I just picked up this one. And I used this one for about another 2 months. And again, every single day. So I have done the protocol. I saw that they said it could be used twice a day, but for me that seemed a bit excessive. So every single day I was using one of these for 157 days. So I've done the recommended protocol. And now we're gonna look at the photos. I feel a need to say this like I do every freaking time. I'm not a professional photographer. And I get a lot of stick from people in the comments telling me that of course you can't measure results. You know, it's not the same angle, it's not the same lighting. I do my best. I'm always sitting in the same spot. I have the same lighting. I do the best I can. I do a bunch of different sort of forwards and sideways and downs and this, and I try to capture as best I can. Okay, so please don't give out to me about the photos. Sometimes I don't even want to share them, but I know that I have to, so here we go. And actually, before I show them to you, I have to say, I never look at photos until the night before I film, because I just liked things to do their jobs and I don't like to even know what's happening. I just like to be surprised. And at the very end, it's usually the night before when I'm sort of writing up all my notes, I come bouncing down the stairs to Gary and I go, oh my gosh, look at these results. So I didn't check these until last night. And I have to say, this is the only trial that I've done that I didn't have to see the photos to kind of know where this was going. I could look in the mirror and see the difference. And it wasn't a good one. So the image on the left was taken on the 3rd of March, so just a few weeks before I started, and the image on the right was August 31st, it was just last week. So if I look at the crow's feet, they're definitely more pronounced. They are more pronounced, particularly here, if you're looking over here, which is my left eye, it looks to your right, and even the area underneath my eye, my creases are bigger, they're deeper. Not digging that at all. And then we're looking at another set of them where I'm slightly turned to the right, so you can actually see the crow's feet a bit better. And these look way worse to me. They just look deeper. There are more of them, particularly the crease under my eye. Now, I could see this in the mirror as the days were progressing. And it was probably about a month ago. I was, doing something else, and I'm like, oh my gosh, do those look worse? And that's the point at which I probably should have gone back and looked at these photos and maybe decided to stop this. But I didn't. I kept going. I said, I'm going to give it the full whack and see how we do. These pictures were upsetting to me because I spent so much time trying to make them better. Now, could this have done better work on the nasolabial folds? I didn't do a 90 days with this in order to ascertain that, because I'm about to start doing a new device, a trial on a new device, so I needed to stop this one because I don't like to overlap my devices. But these were my results, and I have to say, I'm not very pleased. Now, I have seen so many reviews, I've read reviews, I have researched, and I wanted to see if anybody else was getting these results, and I haven't found anybody that was showing this. People were talking about the dryness and saying how I did have some conversations with somebody who said they stopped doing it under the eye because it was too hot. But I don't know. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Have you used these devices before? People that I trust, people I follow, I've seen their journeys, and what am I doing wrong? And I'm wondering if I should reach out to Nira, because I thought this was going to work. Now, maybe the one on the right, I have a slightly more smile, but I don't think I do, and I just don't think I do. So these look worse, and they look worse in the mirror to me. So that's a big fat bummer. I'm so incredibly disappointed. So I'm about to start doing a new trial on a new device. It's a microcurrent device, and I'm just hoping that I'm going to be able to reverse some of this now, because this is probably the one bit in the saggy jowls, which seems to be improving at the moment, by the way, totally independently. I want to reverse this. I want to see if I can get those down. So guys, that is it for today's video. I was shocked when I sat down and did the review. Bummed, I must say. And I'd really like to hear your thoughts. Have you tried these devices? I work for everybody else. If you think I'm doing something wrong, if you think that there might be some other ways in which I could use this, I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. And others would probably like to hear them too. So please put your comments down below. So if you like the look of this video, I do hope you'll subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.
Okay, Mary.
Am I in the right place?
Yeah.
Am I centered?
Well,
to the left? No,
centered.
Am I never centered? We're going to give it a go anyway. All right, are we ready?